I'm answering the request of one of our listeners and our viewing audience. The call came. I've tried your lasagna. I don't even like lasagna, but I had to try it and it's so good. I now need to know how to make cornbread. My cornbread's really dry, she says. I'm talking about my dear friend, one of my mother's dear friends, Sister Roach. And so this video is for her because she wanted to know how to make cornbread but not so dry. So, my darling, here is cornbread. You can feel free to share the video with whomever you choose, okay? Hi guys, this is Marlene McKinney and welcome to Something Better Today. I'm so happy that you chose to join us in my little kitchen here at Something Better. We welcome you. Go on, call a friend, hit up a sister, hit a brother up, let them know the show is on and they need to learn how to make Grammy's cornbread. Yum. Yummo! I love cornbread. If I had a choice between cornbread and cake, I choose cornbread any day because it has more substance, it tastes better, and I happen to think my mother's cornbread recipe is the best ever. So, have you subscribed to our channel yet? We are almost at 500. Yay! I'm so excited. Yes, I am. Can you tell? And we're happy that you have subscribed to our channel. Those of you who have. Now, if you haven't, do that for me now. Subscribe, like, share, and definitely comment in the box below and let us know how much you've been appreciating the recipes we've been sharing from day to day. We've got a trivia today. Oh, yes, we do. We've got a trivia and we are hoping that you're ready for the trivia. So we're making Grammy's cornbread. This recipe is very simple. It's on our screen and you can also find it on our website at somethingbettertoday.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and definitely Instagram. We're looking for you. Do that now if you have a chance while you're listening to me as I talk. So, we have a trivia coming up. Don't go anywhere. Lock that YouTube dial. Stay with us just a little while longer. I already have my flour. I have my unbleached white flour and I have my whole wheat flour. Okay? And we have our cornmeal. Yum. All right? I'm from the Bahamas. Everything has to have coconut, okay? Oh my goodness, I'm the coconut lady. You know, many years ago I did some shows with Three Angels Broadcasting Network and they said they labeled me the coconut girl, okay? Because everything must have coconut. So I have some coconut, I have my flour, I have my cornmeal, I have a little brown sugar baby in there. And I'm gonna put a little pinch of salt, gotta have a little salt. You can use coriander and cardamom combined, or you can choose to use a little cinnamon. It's your choice. Then you do need some baking powder. Now, I know there was a question earlier in one of our programs. The question was, can I use yeast instead of baking powder? There are many of us who don't care to use the baking powder because, you know, it's kind of a little irritating because of the salts in there. This is a aluminum-free baking powder, okay? And you would need to use it preferably because, you know, the aluminum in baking powder is not good for us. The aluminum in anything is not good for us. So as far as possible, try to avoid it, all right? So in my bowl, I have all of my dry. I always begin with my dry. So in my dry bowl, I have flour, cornmeal, sugar, baking powder, salt, and definitely some coriander and cardamom or some cinnamon. And if you'd like, you can put a pinch of baking soda. But there again, some of us, it's an irritant, and so we try to stay away from those things. So if you wanted to use yeast, the yeast will definitely change things up a little bit, but you can go ahead and try the yeast. Why not? For this amount of batter, I'd say maybe a tablespoon of yeast will do just fine. Just activate it, and then of course you just mix it in and then pop it into the oven. Why not? It's not going to be a terrible thing. It's going to be good. It's better. In addition to that, I should have said to you, if you were to use your yeast-baked breads instantly, you know, the yeast is still active. And some of us, we're walking around with a pregnant belly. And so a lot of that is because we keep eating these fresh-baked breads, okay? Okay, let's get back to our cornbread. All right, so then we have our coconut milk. And you know, I like to use my tin as my guide because it's my measuring cup and I'm very dishes conscious, and y'all already know that already. So I'm adding a little of my Crisco coconut milk. It's not Crisco, but it's the brand. All right, good stuff. Guess what I just did? Let me pop that into the garbage. I should have used that in my thingy. Okay, now you don't have to do this, but if you'd like, what you can do, you can take an apple. For those of us who think the cornbread is still a little dry, rich coconut milk helps it not to be dry. And yes, I'm popping it in with the seeds. You're going to get a little cyanide. A little bit will not kill us. Did you know that cyanide is found in the seeds of the apples? I know you didn't know that. I just taught you something. That should have been our trivia for today. Okay, so just a little water. Well, the amount of water that I needed, which I just threw my tin in the garbage. Dum 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 dum. All right, so I'm gonna pop that in the blender. Blend away. Our trivia is coming, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm back with my glasses on. Throw those things away because they make me look older. And I'm celebrating a birthday pretty soon. Do you know when my birthday is? If you do, drop it in the comments below. That is not the trivia question for today. However, it's very soon. So I'm adding a little vanilla. And I took my apple early and I blended it because this is going to bring moisture to your bread. There are many variations of cornbread, isn't there? There are many variations to cornbread. This is my mother's recipe, and I happen to think it's the best recipe that I've ever come across because cornbread has a tendency to be very, very dry. And sometimes, I remember when we lived in Tennessee, my children, along with the other children at the school we were at, they would actually put it in, what you call that? With milk. They'd have a bowl of cornbread with lots of milk because it was that dry. Cornbread should not be dunked in milk unless it's, well, you do whatever you want to do with it, right? All right, let's get this blender out of the way so that we can bring in our cake mixer. Yeah, I'm not going to use my hands today. I'm going to save them for other things. All right, let's plug it in very quickly. All right, the trivia question today. Here's our trivia question for today. What is the other name for corn? What is the other name for corn? All right. So I'm going to blend. Hopefully it doesn't get everywhere because my bowl's a little small. What's the other name for corn? Who's going to be the first person to get our trivia? We want to say thank you so much to Talexia, all the way in Jamaica, that won the first trivia that we ever had. It's getting everywhere. My bowl's too small, but I wanted to use the clear bowl because I wanted you to see what I was doing. So we're going to have a little mess. That's okay. Kitchens, we make messes in kitchens, right? All right. There we go. All right, so I pour it into my dish. And I bake for about 45 minutes to an hour. 350 degrees seems to be the temperature for most things. It's not for everything, but it's for most. And until it's nice and pretty and golden brown. That's an awkward way to hold a bowl. I know that's what you're saying. But I'm wanting you to see how the recipe comes out. I want you to see the consistency. Yes. Listen. So we added the apple because the apple brings moisture. If you don't have an apple, you can use a banana. If you don't have any of the above, then bake it without. Honestly, because of the added coconut milk and the little oil, it keeps the moisture trapped into your pan of bread. In addition to that, I should have said that our cornbread recipe, we don't have eggs, we don't have butter, we don't have milk, all the things that we normally put in a cake or a cornbread, okay? So we add these things because it keeps the moisture in, or gives it moisture, not keeps it, it gives it moisture. That's important because we don't want dry cornbread, although we do have a nice glass of milk. Yum, let's try some milk. Ooh, Did you get the trivia correct? Did you? I hope you did. I have asked you the question. The question is, or was, what is the other name for corn? Let's try this, baby. Let's see how it tastes. Maybe it don't taste so good. Y'all know I get excited about food, right? I'm a foodie. That's right. That's why I'm teaching you how to do it, because I'm a foodie. If you haven't subscribed already, do so now. We love you guys. We need you guys. Without you, there'd be no Something Better Today show. I'm Marlene McKinney, and I love you. Thank you for joining us on our journey to better health. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. I look forward to seeing you in our next show when we have our next trivia. Remember, if you win our trivia, give us a call or WhatsApp us or Facebook message us or Instagram us or let us know how we can reach you. Because how else will we get your prize to you? Yum! See you next time. Something Better Today. Marlene McKinney. I love you guys. Bye-bye. I do have my own jungle in my kitchen. Y'all know that, right? Yum. Bye.